This is Mark Jonard Hernandez.
And this is Maria Ruby de Austria.
And we will discuss about limits.
Before anything else, I would like to define what is limit. So limit is the value that a function approaches. And we can write it with the limit of a function as x is approaching to a certain number. So we have two possible answers. If it's sometimes it can be L, which is the value, or D and E, which does not exist. And we can get it, and we can learn it during the tutorial. So we can get the answer as we watch the whole video.
Good day everyone, I am Alexa May Sirong-Pilio and I am your teacher for the day. And we are going to tackle about the table of values. So now, we have our first example. Limit is equals to x squared plus 1 as x approaches to negative 1. So before that, let me teach you paano natin makukuha yung ilalagay natin sa ating table of limits. So first, let me show you this table. 0 is neutral, which is, ang 0 hindi siya pwede maging negative or hindi siya pwede maging positive. And yung mga number na nag-approach from the left, papunta sa 0, ito yung mga negative numbers like negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, and hanggang 0, negative 2, negative 1, and 0. While on the right side, it is the number ng mga positive like 1, 2, 3, and so on hanggang infinity. Same with the left, papuntang infinity, pero negative. So our example here is, it is negative 1. So we will find out that 0, ang attribute ng 0 is negative 1. So, as it approaches from the left, so there's two ways to get the value that approaches to x, which is our negative 1. It is from the left, is negative 1.5, and so on, negative 1.4, 1.3, 1.2, pero dahil sobrang dami niya, ang nilalagay na natin negative 1.5, negative 1.1, negative 1.01, and negative 1.001, and that will go on, so that will go on as minus 10, pero hanggang sa 3 decimal point lang ang ating kukunin. So there's an easier way para makuha to. So dun sa negative 1, magmaminus na kayo ng negative 0.5 sa 2, negative 2 minus negative 0.5 is equals to negative 1.5, and so on, magiging ganito siya. And ang kukunin naman natin ay yung approaches from the right, which is yung mga itong negative 1 natin. And this is our 0, which is papunta siya sa negative 1. So ang gitna niya is 0.5, negative 0.5, and pataas tayo, papunta sa 1. So that is negative 0.9, and so on. So, ang kukuha natin ay hanggang 3 decimal point, which is negative 0.5, negative 0.9, negative 0.99, and negative 0.999. So, after natin makuha yung ating mga x, approaches from the left and approaches from the right, we will distribute this to the equation na meron tayo, which is x squared plus 1 as x approaches to negative 1. So, ang ating first is negative 1.5 raised to 2 plus 1 is equals to 3.25. Our next is negative 1.1. With this equation, i-distribute natin siya as x, and our answer will be 2.21. And so on with this, makukuha natin siya as product ng calculator. And our next is 2.02, and our last is 2.00. Hanggang 2 decimal point na natin natin check para malaman natin yung So, dito naman tayo sa kabila. So, our next is, kukunin ng approaches from the right. And this, i-distribute ulit natin siya as negative 0.5 raised to 2 plus 1 is equivalent to 1.25. And negative 0.9 raised to 2 plus 1 is equivalent to 1.81 and so on. And our next answer is 1.98. And our next is 1.998. 1.99 kasi dalawang decimal point number din natin. At so, ang ating huling kukunin is itong huling number. Saan ba siya nag-approach? Diba? 2. Sa number 2. So, this is 2. And our next is 1.99. Kung i-round off natin siya, magiging 2 din ang sagot niya. So, parehas ba? Yes, parehas sila ang positive 2. Therefore, dahil ang ating sagot is 2, we will conclude that therefore, or pwede natin siyang gamitin as tatlong dot, as mag-resemble para sa therefore, limit x squared plus 1 as x approaches to negative 1 is equivalent to 2. So, let's get on to our next lesson now. Kukunin ulit natin ng x by using our table, which is yung ating from the left and from the right. So, ang ating kukunan ay yung x na 2. So, gagawin din natin yung mas easier way, which is 2 minus 0.5, kasi ma-minusan natin siya, is 1.5. And so on, hanggang sa mapunta na siya. So, ang ating mga x is 1.5, 1.9, 1.99, and 1.999. So ating from the right naman, as x is 2, approaching from the right, ang ating number dun is plus 0.5 naman siya. So, 2.5 hanggang sa pababa na siya. So, 2.1, 2.01, and 2.001. So, ito ang ating mga x. And sa tagpuan naman natin ng f of x, we are going to distribute our x sa ating given, which is 1 plus 3x as x approaches to 2. So, ang sagot dito is 5.5. And sa 1.9 naman is 6.7. Sa ating 1.999, 99 is 6.97. And sa ating 1.999 is 6.99. Dahil 2 decimal point lang ang ating kukunin. So sa ating kabila naman is 2.5 using that given 1 plus 3x as x approaches to 2. Ang ating sagot dito is 8.5, 2.1. Ang ating magiging sagot is 7.3. And next is 7.03. And our next is 7.002. Pero 2 decimal point ang piliin. So this is our answers. So saan nag-approach ang ating 6.99? Dahil i-round off natin siya ay magiging equals to 7. And this is the second one is 7 also. So therefore, 3 dots. Therefore, the limit of 1 plus 3x as x approaches to 2 is equals to 7.
Again.
So, kukunin natin ang value ng 0 as x as it approaches from the left. So, ito yung mga number na makukuha natin dahil ginawa natin kanina. So, this is negative 0.1, negative 0.01, negative And galing naman sa kanan, this is positive 0.1, positive 0.01, positive 0.001, and positive 0.0001. So this is yung mga given natin. At sa ginawa natin kanina, yung ating x, i-distribute natin ito sa x. So, 1 divided by 0.01 is negative 10. And so, gaya ng ginawa natin kanina, i-distribute natin itong mga x sa ating given. So, our given is 1 over x. So, i-distribute natin ng negative 0.1 sa x. So, it will be 1 divided by negative 0.1. And the answer will be negative 10. And so on. This will be negative 100, negative 1,000. So now, ito na yung mga sagot na nakuha natin from x approaches to the left. And sa right naman natin, this will be positive 10, positive 100, and positive 1,000, and so on to infinity. So our answer is, dito sa kabila, it approaches from negative 1,000. And from sa kabila is positive 1,000. So, akala natin parehas to, pero dahil hindi sila magkaparehas because of the sign, dito sa kabila is negative 1,000, and sa kabila is positive 1,000, this, hindi sila magkaparehas ng number. And pag hindi magkaparehas ng number natin, it will be P and E. Or, it means does not exist. So we will put our conclusion that therefore the limit of 1 over x as x approaches to 0 is equals to does not exist. And that's all. Thank you. So, we have a graph here. This is the y and this is the f of x. So, also, we have the three different limits to solve. So, first, we will solve the limit of f of x as x approaches to 6. So, x approaches to 6 is 6, positive 6, and as x approaches to left and approaches to right. So, we have here the both sides. And now, tingnan natin kung saan nga ba yung point. Kung saan tumatama yung 6. So, this is 6. And, papunta siya saan? Sa 1. So, as x approaches to 6 from the left, tumatapat siya sa 1. So, sa right naman, makikita natin na parehas lang siya ng tinatapatan. So, 6 and 1. So, pumupunta siya sa 1. So, ang ating limit of f of x as x approaches to 6 ay 1. So, next, as limit of f of x as x approaches to 4. So, positive 4 ang x natin. So, tingnan natin kung saan siya tumatapat. So, from the left and from the right. So, dito, titignan natin kung saan tumatapat ang left and right natin. So, left, tumatapat siya sa 3. And sa right naman, tumatapat din siya sa 3. So, parehas sila ng tinatapatan. So, that means na ang ating limit ng f of x as x approaches to 4 ay 3. So, next naman, limit of f of x as x approaches to 2. So, positive 2 ang x natin. So, x, positive 2, titingnan natin ang right and left sign niya. So, sa right, pinupuntahan niya ay 5. So, ang tapat ng ating dot is 5. And sa left naman, makikita natin na iba ang punta ng ating graph. So, 2. 2 ang tapat niya. Magkaiba yung right and left na tinatapatan. So, hindi siya magkaparehas. And that means that does not exist. Or the end. So, ang ating limit of f of x as x approaches 6 ay 1. Then next is 3 and does not exist. So, makikita natin dito na iba-iba yung sagot niya sa ating. So, okay.
Good day to all of you. Again, this is Marlo Jarlo Barit, and I will help you to understand the limit of loss clearly. So, to apply the limit of loss, I will try to solve each problem. So, the first problem is, what is the limit of 5 if x is approaching to 6? So, what will be our limit if we will use the limit of a constant? So, limit of a constant means the k is the answer itself. So, in this problem, we could see that 5 is our k. With that, we can conclude, using the limit of a constant, that the 5 is our answer. So, the limit of 5 if x is approaching to 6 is equal to 5. So, with that, we use the limit of a constant. So, I hope you get limit of a constant clearly. So, the next problem is, what is the limit of x if the x is approaching to 6? In this problem, we will not use the limit of a constant, though we can use the limit of x. So with this, the limit of x is being applied. The limit of x means the value of x is the answer itself. In this problem, we can see that the x is approaching to 6, which is 6 is our x. So with that, we can say that the x is our answer. The limit of x, if x is approaching to 6, is equal to 6. In that problem, we use the limit of an x. The limit of x. Our next problem, of course, we will apply the different laws. So the third problem and the last problem, we will apply the different laws. So first, what is our problem? So our problem is the limit of 2 times x squared minus 4 plus x plus 2 if x is approaching to 3. So in this problem, we will use different laws like the constant multiple theorem, the additional theorem, the power theorem, the subtraction theorem. So first, we will try to use the constant multiple theorem. Hihiwalay natin ang 2 sa kanila. And since we use the multiplication here, we will use it too. So, the limit of x squared when x is approaching to 3. So, each variable, lahat ng variable ay hihiwalay nyo lang sa isa't isa and we will use their signs. So, next is the subtraction, which is limit of 4 if x is approaching to 3. The next is addition, which is the limit of x when x is approaching to 3. And the last one is limit of 2 when x is approaching to 3. In this part, we use the constant multiple theorem. In this part, we use the constant multiple theorem. Second part, we will use the limit of a constant, wherein the answer to this is 2, since it's the k, and we will multiply it by here. In this part, we will use the limit of x, which is the limit of x is 3. So we will subtract it. In this situation, we will also use the limit of a constant, which is the answer will be 4. So the next is we will add it, and we will use again the limit of x, which is the answer will be 3. And in the last part, we will use the limit of constants again, and the answer will be 2. So before anything else, we will try to solve this. So we will copy the 2 and try to solve each of them, which is the answer will be 16. So this part we will try to solve it, and we will just copy the 2. Then we will try to solve this part first. In this part we can get 16, since we subtract it using the subtraction theorem. Next is the additional theorem. So in this we will use the multiplication theorem, which will be equal, or the answer will be 32. With that, using the different kinds of theorem, the answer will be 32. With that, using the different law, we have come up with the answer of 32. So, I hope you get it clearly, and I hope you understand what is the limit of loss.
Good day everyone. Again, my name is Mark Jonard Hernandez, and ang ituturo ko sa inyo ngayon is the limit at infinity. So bali nag-prepare lang ako ng tatlong given regarding dito sa ating topic for today. The first one, we have the limit of x squared plus 5 as x approaches to infinity. So bali ginagawa natin dito is hinahanap natin yung pinakamalaking exponent. So ano nga ba yung pinakamalaking exponent dito? Of course, we have the x squared. So ang gagawin natin, i-distribute natin yung x squared, then cancel itong positive 5. So next natin gagawin is, isa-substitute natin itong infinity dito sa ating x squared, which is magiging ganito siya. So ano nga ba magiging sagot if infinity raised to 2? Infinity times infinity. Of course, we have infinity. Then magiging sagot niyan is infinity. The limit of x squared plus 5 as x approaches to infinity is equal to infinity. Tumako naman tayo sa number 2. We have the limit of 8x cubed plus 9 as x approaches to negative infinity. So gaya nga sinabi ko kanina, ang kinukuha nating exponent is yung pinakamalaki. So alin ba dito yung malaking exponent? Of course, we have the 8x cubed. So bali, ipuput down natin itong 8x cubed, then cancel the 9. So next natin gagawin is, isa-substitute natin itong negative infinity dito sa ating x. So bala magiging 8 negative infinity raised to 3. So negative infinity times negative infinity. Of course, we have the positive infinity. Then kapag itinangs ulit natin siya sa negative infinity, ang magiging equals niya is negative infinity pa rin. So, 8 times negative infinity. Ang magiging kalalabasan niya is negative infinity pa rin. Therefore, the limit of 8x cubed plus 9 as x approaches to negative infinity is equal to negative infinity. So lastly, we have the given number t. Limit of 6x cubed plus 5x minus 7 over 18x cubed minus 3x as x approaches to positive infinity. So kung nakikita nyo guys, naka-over na siya. So ang gagawin natin dyan is, hahanapin natin yung dalawang taas na value which is the 6x cubed and 18x cubed. So bala mangyayari dito is cancel the rest. And of course, we can also cancel this x cubed kasi parehas naman sila. Then, i-bring down na natin itong 6 over 18. So next natin gagawin is, ilo-lowest term natin siya using a number na nagsusod sa kanila sa isa't isa. Of course, we have the 6 and 6. 6 divided by 6 is equals to 1. And 18 divided by 6 is equals to 3. Therefore, ang magiging sagot niya is 1 over 3 or 1/3. Therefore, our conclusion is the limit of 6x cubed plus 5x minus 7 over 18x cubed minus 3x as x approaches to positive infinity is equals to 1/3. So, yun lang po. Thank you.